I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this, my flow I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking, you should hush bitch. I am from the heavy base, my bro called a heavy case. Got a couple
in the building, baby. We in the building. Okay. So after a little technical difficulties, welcome everybody to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, with the God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. And tonight we are smoking on the word ego.
Ego. Hell
So
yeah.
grab your thinking caps, y'all, and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds. Also, make sure to like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our questions for this evening for the word ego. Let's go ahead and get them up on stage. We had a little we started off a little late, y'all, but that's because this is my real brother in real life, so we had to talk about personal stuff. So if we kept y'all waiting, we appreciate the wait. All right. Our first question tonight is, what do you think of when you hear the word ego? Our second question tonight, is ego the same as self-love, or are they fundamentally different? Our third question of the evening, when someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth or a way of silencing them? 4, how does ego affect teamwork and collaboration? And our fifth and final, last but never least, question of the evening will be, how can we differentiate between confidence and ego? Let us know what you think in the comment section. And what we're going to do is, first, like we always do, is we're going to answer the first question. Then we're going to pull up the definition, define it, examine it, analyze it. And then we're going to get back to the rest of our questions. The God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm, what do you think of when you hear the word ego, God?
Peace, God. Yo, so for me, this might, you might have to walk with me a little bit.
Let's go. Let's walk.
So when I think ego, I think 2%, right?
2%, okay.
I think 2%, I think real you, right? I think it's the real you. I say the 2% because genetically we are not 50% of our mothers and 50% of our fathers, according to all the genetic testings I've taken, whether they are for entertainment purposes or not. That's what I got to go by. They all say the same thing, that I'm 49% my mother, 49% my father, which leads me to think that 2% is me.
Okay.
Right? That is my personality. That is what I bring to the world. And we all have that, right? That's the God in me that allows me to express myself freely and openly or not, right? That's why I say the real you, right? Because that's the you that it's not your mother, it's not your father. Those are your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, your ideas, your wants, right? And I think that an ego supports the person, right? I think the ego supports your desires, your basic necessities. Like, I need to eat because we're running low on fuel. I need to sleep because we expended too much energy, right? I need to rest. I need sunlight. I need sex. I need I need fun, right? Because those are the things that the real you need to form and shape and to further express itself into the world, right? Um, that's what I think, right? I think I also think looking at the other questions, um, I don't know if I would. So that's where I'm at with ego. I'm at
That's what you
I,
think of when you hear the word
I'm at
ego.
I'm at the
Okay,
2%.
the 2%. I got you. I was gonna let you. I was going. We was walking. You know, we was walking.
That's all I'm at,
We
guy.
was in. We was Central Park walking, baby. You know, but yeah. Okay, so that 2%, man. So when I hear the word ego, um, I think of a personality characteristic trait. Um, very similar to what you were saying. That 2% is is you, is who you are, radiating as a being. Um, however, when I think of it like, um, how we get it commonly as this negative connotation that's associated with it.
That's what I
So
was trying to think of. I couldn't think of how to say
yeah,
it.
it's a negative connotation that's associated with it,
Yeah.
and that's the way when I hear the word, that's how I
Mhm.
think of it, because in most cases that's how it's being used. You know, like I have never really heard, um, except for like the Beyonce song. You know,
You had a big ego.
yeah, you know,
Such a big ego.
yeah, um,
Yeah.
so that's the only place that I've really heard of it, like trying to make shit some type of positive light on it, I guess, even though that song is very seductive, you know. Um, but for the most part, when I hear the word ego, I think of, you know, some foolishness for the most part. You know, like it's something that's gonna be, um
Harmful.
well, it'll be harmful to a certain thing. You know, it could be harmful to themselves.
Mm.
Um, it could be something that is not allowing that person to have balance. They more so are being self-centered.
Yeah. You saying and I still yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and that's where I'm at with it too. Like but is that ego for real? Like we gotta look that up because I don't.
That's why we
Cause,
do this,
cause,
because
'cause,
you
yeah,
ask me what I think, but when I hear it, but I don't know if I'm right.
I hear the
You
same.
know,
I think the
like
same thing, right?
I ain't even looking for confirmation. I'm just sharing. Like that's what I
Yeah.
hear when I think of it, because that's where we at with the meaning of it. Like I never looked up the definition of ego. I never studied the word until tonight. That's what we do this for, God. You know that. So it's like when I hear it, that's what I get from it. When people have said it to me, people have said it to me. It's only
Mm.
been used. I never have heard somebody say, you know, um, you have a, your ego is very, you know, I don't know, a nice ego or some shit. Like like your ego is very, becoming of you. Like never heard nobody say no shit like that. I never heard it used in that context. It's always used in a negative context where, you know, somebody saying don't be so egotistical, or you know, or don't you think that that's a little egotistical of you,
Mhm.
or wow, dial down the ego, brother. You know,
Yo,
or
yo, yo, when you saying this guy, you know what it made me think about? I wrote down, they don't like you in reality.
they don't like you in reality. Yeah,
It's
you
like
know, like
that's all I can think about. Like, what you mean? Turn down the ego? Like you turn me down? That's
yeah, like turn you down.
turn you down, damn. Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry,
or
God.
no, it's all love, and then you know, and then when people talk about you, you know, you hear, you know, when you get with they man, they be like, man, you got ego, you egotistical, um, you think you know it all type, you know, because it's these things that come associated with it where people will put that title on
Mm,
you, you know, and I think it's a wrong application. Like even me, I do think I know a lot of stuff. You know, when I don't know, I don't know. But the things I do know, I'm even finding out like the things I do know when you share with people, like they want to prove you wrong. They want to know what you know, but then they want to take it and they want to prove you wrong.
what is that?
I don't know what the fuck that is, God.
What is that? Like
You
that
know,
is crazy.
that I don't even get what that is though.
Like, that
But
is so
that's a thing that's happening now though with people. You know, where people want to know what you know, you share it with them, and then you just share your opinion on it. Like I give you an example. Um, this person I knew, I shared with them. I said, and now I just gave them a I wasn't telling them that it won't work. I was just suggesting that hey, if when you do this, don't expect a huge turnout. You know, I wasn't saying don't expect that you will get nothing. All right,
he's not gonna get the world.
you're just not gonna get the world because it's just not designed that way. You know, the
But
thing
it's
that
a
I
lick
was,
though. It's a lick though. You don't know what you talking about, man. You a
but
hater.
right, but then in their mind they thinking, oh no, people don't like you like they like me, right? So then I said, you know, so it's like it's like in there, and I don't know if that's ego or not, where they just like, you know, well, uh, or I know better than you because, you know, like you might have got burnt in the fire, but I ain't gonna get burnt in the fire, even though I'm telling you the shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I
so like
don't trust your gauge.
or they don't trust your measurement, you
Yeah,
know,
right. Yeah, yeah.
and but they still want to do the same thing that you're doing, you know. And I saw it where like they did something and they say you can't do this and they say you can't do that, and I'm like, I'm watching it and I'm like, who the fuck is they? Because the only person you ever uh confided in to get that type of advice from was me. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so like you're not discussing that type of situation with nobody else. Like I'm watching you. I'm helping you build. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one who you asking these questions for you to build your building, you know? So that but then you go and you say, "Oh, they say you can't." Who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like why but I would appreciate it if you shot me out. And if you say, "Oh, Chef Earl Pearl said you can't do this." Right? But then that would be giving me some credit, right? See, I don't
Is
mind.
it?
See, I don't mind if you use my name and say, you know, Chef Earl Pearl said you can't do this, but I'm gonna prove his ass wrong. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Right? Now that's the real thing to do. The sucker shit to do is to
It's
go up
they.
there. Is they said this or
They
they
said.
said that.
They said.
Like your
Nah.
like the person who you had the conversation with won't see it.
Yeah.
You see, God, that's why I think we had a conversation where I need to stay in my own lane. And when you said that, I said, you know what? I need to stay in my own lane,
It's
you
it's
know?
it's it's, it's important.
Because when you start noticing sucker shit, it's like you noticing these things and you not coming from that place. You coming from a genuine place where it's like, I don't want you to waste time or look like you begging, you know? Now, if you okay with begging, then just say that. I'm okay with begging. I'll beg and beg and beg and beg and beg, you know? But I'm like, when you look at the results, if I got the results no different. If I got 500 over here, but you got 2,000, all right, and I get 10% of mine, and you get 10% of yours, then guess what? It's the same result. Yeah, my 10% is different because my larger number is smaller than your larger number,
Percentage is the same.
but the percentage is the same. So you ain't winning just because you got 200 and I got 50. You know what I'm saying?
You put more money.
No, you ain't even do nothing. You got
Well,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
result. You got the
yeah.
same result trying to go and get the resource out the same place. You know? But these dudes ain't good at math. You know what I'm saying? And then that ego thing that I'm talking about kicks in, which I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's where you want the person to help you and you want the person to share these things, but then you want to compete with the person who's helping you.
Yeah. And I think that's why I say I think all that's insecurities, right? Because why would you want to compete with the person that's helping you? Like at some point you must feel a way.
Yeah,
Like you must
yeah.
feel like the person is now looking down, like the teacher is looking like like the teacher's looking down on the student. Like
How can the teacher is always above the student?
always,
Always.
always. The teacher's always in the front of the class. The teacher's always saying, now class. Like the teacher's always
Turn to this page.
any other page, any other page, you're wrong.
Any other page, you're not gonna get the lesson. So it's like,
Yeah, nah. So
yeah, like I'm not confused. You know what I'm saying? I'm not confused. And even when I lend my knowledge base, it's to help. It's not to compete.
facts.
I have never shared anything with somebody and said, I don't want them to get more than me. I don't want them to get higher or do better than I'm doing. Like, why would I even share? Why would I even invest if I just don't if I want to see you struggling, I can just keep the shit to myself and just watch.
Correct.
That's simple. I could just be like, I ain't telling you, unless you ask, I ain't telling you shit. So if you don't even know what to ask, then guess what happens? Then you still don't know nothing. Because people scared to use the computer in their hand for shit.
And I don't know why that is.
Ego.
Like it's like maybe they don't trust that shit. Like it's right there.
I don't
Like
know.
and
Super.
they updated with the AI, right? Like so now it even do a deep dive into your question and right, like you can have a conversation with the thing and it's
You can have a whole conversation with it. Like a whole conversation with it. And it's gonna take you right to what you need. So I don't get it, God. I have no clue. And I'm really done trying to figure out some of this type of shit for people, man, because it's just getting mentally exhausting, But I do know that now, if people don't ask, I'm not volunteering shit. You know what I'm saying? Not the people that I'll show you who I'm talking about later on in the show. I got some. I got some perfect. I got some perfect. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up now before we even get into tonight's definition, y'all. Make sure to go ahead and smash that like button, y'all. Um, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna sho I'm gonna say this right here. All right. I don't know if everybody can see this. Um,
Yeah.
let me maximize this right here. If we ain't working together like this, stay the
Oh
fuck
man.
from around me.
They got that ass. They got that ass. They got that
I ain't
ass.
offering you shit. I ain't, I ain't,
They
I
got
ain't,
that ass. Everybody
I ain't,
doing
I ain't sharing no information. If you don't get it from me offline, don't call
it.
me and ask me for a motherfucking thing. If we ain't moving
Yo,
like
son.
this,
Yo, we all gotta push and pull same time.
if
Cause
we
no,
ain't moving like this, and your goal is to try to use a motherfucker, but you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no genuine intentions to help me lift too.
hell yeah.
If I'm gonna help you lift, then man, do me a favor. You know,
And
do
they
me a
taking my man.
favor.
Oh, there's gonna be some man. If that was a food plants, those would be perfect. They
Look
gonna
how
take.
they rolling. That's teamwork.
They taking my man to the pot.
He gone. It's already. Look, you got everybody else measuring what we need to do, how we need to put this together, how we going, okay,
hmm hmm
okay. So we got okay, we gotta do it like this. We gotta do it like we gotta fold them up a little bit. Get ready, yeah, y'all, because we gotta lift them and get them around this curve right here. We gotta get around this curve. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right, let's move them on up.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! I'm telling you, man, I don't need no suckers around me. All you looking at motherfuckers can get hit by traffic, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
You know, go jump off a bridge or something, man.
ooh, what are they doing?
If we ain't moving like this,
Oh, they got my man. They got my man. Oh, look at
they
that,
got
man.
him.
They got, oh,
They got him.
they got, look at that shit, son.
They got him.
Look at that shit. They got her.
This is what teamwork looks like. This is what coming together, unity. That's what unity look like. How they got it and we can't get it. How they got it? You telling me y'all niggas ain't worth a bunch of ain't worth more than some ants?
I don't think Ants got that 2% differential that I'm talking about though. That's probably why they got it. Cause
Come on,
they
fam.
they only work together. That was beautiful. That was inspiring, God.
That's no ego. That's what no ego looks like right there. Even
Uh,
even if I don't even know what the word, even based on with
nah, that's no
how it's
ego.
defined, even if that don't, that's still no ego.
That's all facts.
That's a team working together. Everybody putting in. Everybody making sure that we gonna eat. Everybody making sure that you get an opportunity to shine. When they get that back to the lab,
Mm.
they ain't saying, "Look how much I lifted. Look how much I lifted. Look how, oh, you wouldn't have even lifted that if we wouldn't have made that plan over there and blah. Oh, I'm the boss. No, you the boss. So this the boss." None of that.
Nah, for nothing. They taking that back to the queen so she can make more of them and sustain them. That's what they do. They're not even talking about the piece they gonna get. They're not even talking about, man, this my piece right here. I carried this part. This my part. You know what I'm saying? I carried the heaviest part. Nope.
Why? Because they did it for the team.
Did it for the 10, did it for everybody, son. They only saying thank you.
So, if y'all just joined us, make sure to hit that like button. We really appreciate it. Also, links in the description. Check us out. We got merch and more. And we are smoking on the word ego tonight. If you just joining us, we're gonna go ahead and get into the definition of the word ego. Ego is a noun, and it says the self, especially as contrasted with another self or the world. The self, especially as contrasted with another self or the world.
I think that means the 2% I'm talking about.
Okay. Then we have egotism in the second sense. We have self esteem in the first sense. And then we have three, the one of the three divisions of the psyche and a psychoanalytic theory that serves as the organized conscious mediator between the person and reality, especially by functioning both in the perception of and the adaptation to reality. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you
So
need your ego.
I think ego is necessary as well.
Like looking at this, I don't think like I needed to do to adapt to reality, to perceive and adapt to reality. Hell yeah. Like
Okay.
man,
Divisions of the psyche and a psychoanalytic theory. Now, this is the part where it says one of three divisions of the psyche and psychoanalytic theory. Okay. And this is the part right here where there's some made up shit. Psychoanalytic theory,
yeah,
because
it's all made up. Yeah,
it's theory. You know,
yeah.
I understand that we all are taught, that we as humans are taught everything. Okay. But this right here is saying, and I could be misinterpreted it wrong. Okay. But this is my interpretation of it. Psychoanalytic theory. In theory, it's never real. It's always, it could be. It's like
But scientific theories are real though. Like those are scientific theories are based off proven facts and experiments and stuff like that.
right,
They
but
testable.
it's no longer theory though.
Nah, it's still a scientific theory. Like it's still like in science, scientific theory is separate from the word.
Scientific fact,
No,
proof,
it's nah. Like it's almost like what is it called? Like it's different. Like they just call it a different thing. I don't know.
okay.
But I do know that a theory and a scientific theory are two different things. Like a theory is never true. It's never real. That's a fact.
And this is what I'm saying is that this is the psychoanalytic theory, and I'm just like in my brain, I can analyze some shit and be like, yeah, I'm that, and then now I can go and fake and front like I'm this, but it's only good like psychoanalytic theory, uh,
What's wrong with that though? Like let's
like
go
faking it
with
till you make it, like fake it till you make
no.
it. In
Let's
in what situation though? Because I think it applies. I think you can do this in multiple areas of your life. You know, when it says the organized conscious mediator between the person and reality, I mean, we got a lot of different things functioning both perception and adaptation. You know, because perception is how I may look at it, and then adaptation is
what
how
you
I
gonna do about it?
actually, right.
And
So,
that's what I'm saying, right? Like so when you were saying about faking it till you make it, like that may be your response to a situation or to your reality. It has how to save yourself, right? Your ego or yourself might tell you to respond and react in that way versus somebody else's might tell them to respond and react a different way.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's what I got
That's
from that,
fair.
and based on what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But what I'm saying is that this the psychoanalytic theory part is the fake part.
I mean, but if you throw that out, then you got to throw the whole thing out.
Nah, I don't gotta throw the whole thing out because people be faking
Yeah, but we don't.
it. Yeah, like, and we agree with you, from what you said that like, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, some people be faking. They be perpetrate faking the fraud and shit, and and hey, and then some people say, nah, I can't front like that. I'm gonna keep it
Facts.
1,000. Like I can't do that. Like that's you know. So I'm saying they
No,
both are
I
fair, and in nature. I'm just pointing out the fact that it's a analytic theory is the part that allows some fakeness. It allows rooms for fakeness.
no, I don't think you're wrong with that. In the fact that I think psychology in itself, in the realm of the sciences, isn't looked at as a real science because it's your mind, right? And how do you prove with beyond a reasonable doubt, if you conduct an experiment with people in situations that out of 100 times this many people will do this thing, so you can predict type of behavior. Like it's, I
You
don't know.
can put 100
But
people. How many people we
so check
putting
it
in the
out though, right?
room,
So
and
check it
what
out.
we doing to them?
So at the same time that in science that psychology is looked at not negatively but as lesser because it's not as provable as everything else, right? Um, Look how many jobs that it creates from that field, right? Like these people are giving people real drugs and medication based off this fake thing that's not necessarily provable, but they open up the world based off an idea. So when does it become real? Um, yeah, when does it become real? Like at what point? Because you got social workers, psychiatrists, all kind of therapists, right? You know,
Well, I think it become real, God, when a person presents the evidence, you know. I think so. Like
Jesus
so, like
walk.
after they've went through the experiment,
Hmm.
it's almost like getting a diagnosis, right? Like you get a diagnosis, but you have had to went through something, right? So you don't get the diagnosis until after you've expressed or after you went through whatever it is that you went through, after you've suffered whatever illness or whatever it is. You don't get the diagnosis till it's like, oh, okay, we see that, and this is in alignment um with what we have determined uh
Because it is a
consists
book.
of those things, right? Yeah,
It,
because
it,
it's
it,
somebody,
it is a
it's
book
somebody
of codes and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, of like, okay, you must to have this. If you have this, it's consistent with this, and then this is
Hmm.
consistent with this. Chicken pox, you got the
It is a
the
book. Yeah.
the bumps and shit. Like, okay, yeah, you got the chicken pox, you diagnosed.
Chicken pox,
you know,
itch. Yeah. Them pox.
right? It's itchy. Yeah, you got the pox. Okay, you know. So it's like, but you went through that though.
Hmm.
You know, you went through that, and then it was consistent with what somebody else had, with science has proven that this is that because people don't went through it before and then they came up with a name for it and a treatment and everything else, right? But what I'm saying is it's like that's not really, and that was analyzed, and studied, but it's no longer theory. And that's where I'm getting at, like, now if they say, okay, well, maybe you can cure chicken pox by rubbing, I don't know, some shit, like that may be theory. That may be theory until it gets proven, until there's scientific evidence of where, like you was talking about, where we don't put 100 people in the room, gave them chicken pox, you know, and then we tried out this new thing that we thought that could, cure people of their chicken pox, you know, and now it's proven. Now we have that data from that experiment, but then we gotta keep on going and give it to other people when they
Yeah,
experience it,
so
you
the
know.
problem, guy, right? So you're stuck with psychoanalytical theory, and now that you bringing it up, I'm stuck in psyche, right?
Right,
Because
right. But that's the mental.
yeah, so how do you confirm that somebody is hearing voices? How do you confirm that somebody is depressed or anxious? Like, how do you confirm? Not obviously not the medical way, like what the book say, because I don't know that, you don't know that. But just thinking about it logically, like, um,
They would tell you. It would be certain things. It would be certain things that would line up. It would be certain things that would line up.
but what if everything in that book is all psychoanalytic theory and not psychoanalytic fact?
I mean, that's a big ass what if, because we don't have the book and we don't know how they got to them conclusions, you know? So, I mean, what if it is? Shit, I'm with you. What if it is? you know, then that means, that um that it's a lot of people out here bullshitting. And they, and then that would substantiate what you were talking about earlier about the uh, the diagnosis and the treatment methods and things like that.
I just looked it up, God. So according to Google, it's not Ali. It's saying psychoanalytic theory encompasses a broad set of ideas originated by Sigmund Freud, focusing on the unconscious thoughts, desires, and childhood experience influence human behavior and personality. Like, it's like what you went through in your childhood. Like, it's
So it's a hodgepodge.
that's,
it's
that's what I'm saying, son. Like,
a hodgepodge of things, you know.
says the theory has evolved through the contribution of many other thinkers, but its core concepts remain rooted in Freud's work. So, like, you talk about levels of awareness, consciousness, pre-consciousness, unconsciousness? I don't know, God. Like,
I mean, I know that all of those things exist. I do know that, those levels of consciousness, when you sleep, we dream, or nightmares, night terrors in some circles.
yeah. So,
You know,
you know how
um,
long it took me to realize that those two things were the same?
you know, trust me, I didn't know either, but I learned quick. Um, so I mean, and then daydreaming,
yeah,
just daydreaming,
yeah.
that happens. Um, so I understand that, and I also understand how people look at things and fantasize, you know, and this is where the whole ego goes into, and this is where, like what we was talking about earlier, this is where the whole ego goes in the place where like what I just showed, people would think that they working with you, but they're not trying to work together as a team, you know. So
Oh
so
man,
to me,
we Pisces, God. Yeah.
you know, so it'll look as though, and that's where I'm talking about, where that ego will come in, at where it's like, okay, well, they thinking, their perception is, yeah, I'm working with you, but their adaptation to reality is like, but I'm not trying to help you though, you know. I work
Fact.
with you as long as you helping me, but I don't want you to benefit. I don't want to help you though. You know,
And you saying that, right? I was just it got me looking at number one, the self, especially as contrasted with another self or the world. That is the self-centeredness. That is the I help you, but I don't really want to. I'm really looking for a way for me to win, kind of thing,
to
right?
compete with you.
To
I want,
compete with you.
yeah, I
Right?
really want to compete with you. I really don't want your help. I mean, I really wouldn't ask for your help if I ain't really just want to know what you know, so I could use you, and then so I could just,
Yeah. What
you
I'm gonna
know,
do is I'm gonna ask mad questions and do very little actual work, but make sure I got mad information and then go and do that because I got all this information for free, and all I had to do was come over there and clean the fish tank. Like, nah, son, I'm giving out information. Got a podcast. We give out information.
hit the like button, subscribe to the
So
channel.
I think that's that self-centered stuff, right? I think that's where it will come in, where you contrasting yourself. Um, because number three, I think is not just a necessity. I think that's just a part of life, right? The human that's your 2% just wanting to live, right? And just right, because you can either keep walking into the door or you can open it, right, and
Yeah,
walk through it,
yeah, you got choices. We got choices. We
right?
got choices.
Or you can break the tools out, or you can take the hinges off. Right, you can do them. You go, you know what I'm saying? You can fix your problem a bunch of different ways. You,
Exactly.
you can decide to go out the window.
You decide to go through the window. You know, see if they got a service entrance. You know, like if the goal is to get in, you know, then it don't matter what door it look like to get in there. You know,
You
and
know what
that's
I'm not seeing, guy? I apologize to cut you. I'm not seeing how it's used in the streets. I'm not seeing that easily.
well, we haven't looked at the thesaurus yet.
Yeah, but I mean, but a lot of times the definition be still be having
Well,
some of it.
they gave us egotism,
They did give us egotism.
and we
Yeah,
haven't tapped on it, but we're gonna tap the button. Let's go ahead and tap the
yeah.
button on egotism. So we see egotism as excessive use of the first person singular personal pronoun, the practice of talking about oneself too much, an exaggerated sense of self-importance,
Mm,
conceit. All right. So that's what we get with egotism. So they're
yeah, that
giving us that in ego,
yeah.
you know. And I even tell you, like, this shit is crazy because, like, you can just present yourself in a certain way and people will
Assume this.
assume this or assume that, and be insecure about it because, like you don't even have to talk about yourself,
That's what
you
I'm
know.
saying, God. Like,
Like, you can just show up and it's just like, well, I never seen that. What's that? Or I never seen, they so busy checking you out and everything. And because you're like, you're not even trying to project that. You just like, I'm here.
yeah, because what if you literally just show up and you just add on to the bill and you just sharing information and you're not talking about you at all. You literally on topic and you adding on like you get to be conceited for that.
You got to be, yeah. But yeah, yeah.
That's wrong. That's an incorrect use of that word because according to this, if only if I'm talking about myself. Well, my green sweatshirt is my hoodie is green, right? I got this green hoodie from my website, bksoulfarm.com. Go to shop and you too can get it. Hey, BK Soul, like just keep talking about myself. Like that's ego. But if I'm talking about
I
egotism,
don't think so. I don't
that'll
think
be
that's
that'll be
ego
promotion for the most
if
part.
you promoting yourself,
Correct.
you know, and you telling the truth. It's not an exaggerated sense of self-importance. You know,
Yeah.
is what you're doing is you are sharing and promoting your business and brand. The reason why you started the shit in the first place. The reason why you put so much energy into it in the first place was because you didn't want to be the only person buying your own clothes. You know, you didn't want to be the
Facts.
only person buying your own products. You wanted to make something to where you don't have to be online begging people for a buck for luck.
I want us to support us.
And I want to be able to exchange to give you something of value for the exchange for your currency, you know, which is fair. I'm not looking for nobody to invest in me. Like I'm looking for people to partner up once I have something or we have something, whatever capacity that is, my team, our team, the team has something, whatever entity it is that is of value for a person to be able to partner up and so their money don't go to waste. So they not trying to spend their money to build your shit up.
There's nobody want to waste no bread.
Cause don't nobody want to waste no bread.
Yo, God,
You
I'm looking
know?
at this and I'm listening to you and I'm trying to see how I would apply it. Maybe politicians, right? I'm looking at this and I'm
Yeah,
and
politicians always exemplify egotism. Like that's
yeah,
what that's
politicians,
that
yeah,
yeah, that's I mean, but that's one of the things that people have a problem with Donald Trump,
yeah,
with President Trump, because they say, his egotism, he's egotistical. He always talking about himself. He always talking about himself. He always talking about this. And as they say, excessive use of the first person, singular person pronoun. I was I won. I won. And
like yeah, we know, Mr. President.
I really made them look bad. It's a shame. It's sad for them. They're sad. But you know what? They're sad people
I
because
won, right?
I'm winner, because I'm a winner, and they're sad people because I'm a winner. And
Uh,
losers are always sad to winners, but what you want me to do? You want me to change winning? No, I'm not going to do that. So
like
that's a lot of the reason why people got a problem with them as far as that, you know.
okay, so that behavior that is documented, right? So it's not even something that somebody could assume by looking at him. Is actually recorded, documented of that behavior, right? Of what this is saying. Um,
Yes.
for the most part, I don't necessarily be like because I've been told I got a big ego and I'm and all that stuff too, and I don't be doing that,
Okay.
right? And I don't know a lot of people that do that. Like again, only politicians and people that's trying to manipulate and stuff, right? And got the
Well, rap
power too.
music, rap music does that. Hip hop
People that got
rap music does that.
power to
It comes
manipulate.
from a very first person perspective. Yeah, it comes
Yeah.
from a very first person perspective. I this, I that, I this, I that. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that. I. You know.
Hmm.
So I think that's where a lot of people get uh influenced, like you said, um, by that, and that feeds into their ego things. Why we can't get a team of ants?
Because that was beautiful. It was
you
beautiful.
know, why we can't do no, why we can't get the heavy lifting where somebody want more credit for lifting than
Nah, we just
or
need it up there.
don't want nobody to know that they had help with the lifting.
Nah,
You know.
man, we gotta get it up there.
So we got, as in self-esteem was also one of the context that
Mm-hmm.
the definition of ego gave us, and it says a confidence and satisfaction in oneself. You know, so I got plenty of self-esteem, man. I got confidence and I get satisfaction
This don't
from
sound negative, God.
what I do. Self-respect, I have to respect myself. You know, I think Goody Mob had a song called Beautiful Black Skin. And and CeeLo had a part in there where he said, "You got to respect yourself before I can." You know, and I think that that's acknowledging self-respect, where you have to have some respect about yourself.
Yeah.
And when you have that, people see it. People see that you have respect about yourself. Most of the time because you give it so well,
Correct.
and you don't try to, and you're not one of those people that is ego driven trying to make somebody earn your respect. Or you like, well, I ain't gonna respect this, and you're gonna respect something. You know, you're gonna respect the police when they show up.
Can't. So
So
it's not necessarily ego driven. There'd be an egotist.
an egotist. Yeah.
There'd be an egotist. Yeah.
So let's look at the thesaurus. So ego is given to us in the
Damn.
synonyms of pride and vanity.
Aren't both of those Deli says?
Where?
I thought the seven deadly sins is it pride and vanity? Like the two seven
What's
what is
that? Is that seven deadly? That's like some ancient Chinese secrets or something? Or
I know the dope anime.
the seven deadly sins. Japanimation or some shit. What's that right there? I don't know, God. Like a reasonable or justified sense of one's worth or importance, man. I'm gonna have pride.
Oh yeah. That's
I'm gonna
not
have
negative.
pride. A reasonable or justified sense of one's worth or importance. Yeah, man. I'm I'm worth a lot to me, and I'm important to me first.
Hell yeah.
And I have to have pride in that, and I have to justify, and I have to reason it because there's some people who depend on me. So guess what? If I don't take some self-respect, some self-worth, some self-assurance, some self-pride, some self-trust, some prestige, some dignity, some self-confidence, some self-esteem, some self-regard, some honor, face it, aplomb. If I don't do any of these, some pridefulness, have confidence, then how I'm gonna be strong for everybody else, but I'm weak for myself.
Which which in reality is not strong for everybody else.
That's not.
Right? Because you're not well supported. Right. So anything that you carrying is unbalanced. Right. No matter how much if you're not good, you cannot take care of nobody else.
Look here where it say right here. I have enough ego that I don't give up easily when trying to win any contest or competition. Okay? That's like, and I go back to it. That's like you helping somebody. You supposed to be a team. You helping somebody, and they want you to give up on what you got going on to just come be an employee for them. Go help them do all their heavy lifting. Don't give up on what you got going on because they don't see the vision. They don't think that you can win. They don't know that you only in competition with yourself. You ain't competing with everybody else. You're not chasing a high. And if my only competition is me, then we could go all day
But it ain't
until I
going
go to
nowhere.
sleep. Cause I ain't going nowhere, you know.
And,
You know,
and even when you go to sleep, you're still there.
and we still there. You know, we gonna wake up and go back at it. I bet you, I bet you can't do better than what you did yesterday, Pearl.
Yo, son.
You know what I'm saying?
That's yo, that's why I get up every single day and be
come
like, yo,
on,
I got a
man.
brand new opportunity
You
to be
know,
the very best version of myself because like I gotta beat yesterday.
I got beat yesterday for me,
No,
just
but
for what I did.
I gotta be the best. I gotta be a better me today than I was yesterday. Not I ain't gotta beat nobody else, but I just gotta be
That's
a
it.
better me.
That's it. A better version of me than what I was yesterday. That's it. Cause I'm thankful that I got another day. I'm taking
That's word.
pride that I got another day.
That's word.
Cause I could have died in my sleep. Ain't that how people want to go? People be talking about they want to go like that. I just want to lay down and go to sleep and not wake up again. You and everybody the fuck else.
I just want to wake up dead.
You want to wake up dead, right? Oh man. Then we have ego as in vanity, an often unjustified feeling of being pleased with oneself or with one situation or achievements. An often unjustified feeling of being pleased with oneself or
Damn.
one situation or achievements. You know, that's like lying for some shit that you know you ain't deserve, but then you feel good about it. But then you ain't even got the cojones to say, you know what, I did lie about that shit, but you know what, it's all good. Yep. Vanity, pridefulness, pride, arrogance, egotism, complacency, smugness, self love, vainglory, self conceit, self satisfaction, self importance, pomposity, confidence, vainness, conceitedness, superiority. Yeah, I think the guy said because they want to look down on, they want to think that they up and they looking down, right? They there you go, vanity, pompousness, self esteem, conceit, self opinion, big head, swole head, complacent, or more prepared, propre,
Yep.
self admiration, self glory, vaingloriousness, self congratulations, assurance, self confidence, self assumption, swole head ass nigga, uh, self assurance, self
Yeah,
assumption,
damn. God damn.
hubris, self righteous ass. You know, people say that too. Egoism, haughtiness, imperiousness, overconfidence, snobbishness, pretense, superciliousness. Did I say that right? I might have messed that one up. Uh,
Superciliousness.
superciliousness, supercilious, self-assertion, lordliness, disdainfulness, presumption, self-respect, self-pride, pretension, pretense, self-centeredness, and pretentiousness.
You know what's crazy to me, guy, right? So when you look at pride, pride doesn't seem negative at all. When you look at like pride starts off by saying a reasonable or justifiable sense of one's worth or importance. Vanity starts off by saying well, unjustifiable
And often unjustified
and
feeling.
and and often unjustified feeling of being right like and I was thinking to myself like that's those sound like contradicting things And I'm like, I often hear people use vanity and pride together, like somebody's being pride, showing too much pride and vanity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's
how you do that if those are two different things? But then I see, as in vanity, pride falls as one of the synonyms. So it kind of
because it's
plays
the context,
is the context. Yeah, it plays into it, right? So
right?
context is everything.
But it's not when you have an illiterate congregation.
Yeah, then context is nothing. Like context
Context
is
is nothing.
is
Context
meaningless.
is well, no God, no God. You're right. Context is meaningless, but let's flip the words.
Mm,
Context is full of meaning.
correct. Yeah,
Because nobody has the definition to be able
correct.
to be able to say, to be able to commend you, you know, and say, I love that pride that you got about yourself, and not be being sarcastic,
Yep.
you know, to say I love the fact you got so much pride about yourself, you know.
Which should be like, go ahead, brother. Right?
Yeah,
It should be like a dope thing, like not like no shade, no hate.
like oh, he got too much pride, because people only know how to use it negatively because of the illiterate, because the lack of literacy of the definitions of the words and how to apply it correctly. It's just going with the meaning. Whatever the meaning is, who cares about the definition? Who cares about the
Who
application? Who
cares?
cares about the application of it correctly?
No, they say that at my job all the time. Words have meanings, and I'm like, it bothers the fuck out of me. 'Cause I'm
Words
like,
don't
that's
have meanings. Words have definitions.
I'm like, they are so defined, right? And we just say what we want to say, and we make whatever we say mean what we needed to mean for this conversation, and then we carry this conversation forward, and now nobody know what the hell we got going on, and it's like, how come we didn't solve the problem? Because we never really started working on it.
We are, you know, like we trying to save the people from idiocracy, you know. So this is our benevolence and contribution back to society. Like I'm trying to tell
Because if it
you.
wasn't for this, I'd still be playing in dirt, God. I'd be good
I'm trying to
in
tell
my yard.
you. you I'm trying not to make it all just about the trending
You
topics and the
know what I'm
Diddy
saying?
case and the
You know what I'm saying?
sports, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make it like not fast food, you know what I'm saying? Like all that fast food shit, man, like you can go get that anyway. All you gotta do is put a different package on it, people lining up to get it, man. But ain't nobody, don't nobody care about, they think that it's your ego
The
when you're
thing is,
right about things. When you take
the thing is
pride,
your ego when you're right.
when you take pride in and honor and dignity and confidence and understanding that you have been wrong about so many things in your life because you have made mistakes and you continue to make mistakes, that you say, you know what, one of my personal goals is to be as right about things as I can be, especially when I'm sharing information to people, so that way they don't have to waste their time. It's not to say, oh, I did it, so I couldn't, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but let me prove you wrong. Like, that's where the most people be at. It's not on that. It's because when a person has went through things,
Yeah.
like remember that respect your elders, like that shit just went out the window.
I think
It's
that's the
it's
vanity part
like it's no more respect for people's situation.
at
you know
all.
when when people look at like, oh man, well, you came up like this and this like that. bro, I used to watch other people. I could see dummies do dumb shit. I've been knowing when people was doing dumb shit that I ain't want that. I ain't want it. And I never thought like, okay, well, if I do that, I'm smarter than them. And if I
Correct.
did do something that I felt like I was smarter than them, then I did it smarter. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yo,
You
one
know,
second, God.
like honestly, I did it smarter. You know, so we looking at ego right now, y'all. We are smoking on the word ego tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button and share the video, y'all. We really appreciate it. We got links in the description. And I'm gonna go ahead and read out the rest of this definition so that way when the God joins us back, we're gonna be able to go ahead and move along with our questions for the evening. So we have ego as a noun, the self, especially as contrasted with another self or the world. Then we saw egotism, and we saw what egotism gives you. Then we saw self-esteem, and we saw the senses that they refer to as that. And then we had three, uh, the one of the three divisions of the psyche in psychoanalytic theory that serves as the organized conscious mediator between the person and reality, especially by functioning both in the perception of and adaptation to reality. And we exchanged some insights about that. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. And yeah, that was the word ego, y'all. So our second question this evening: is ego the same as self-love, or are they fundamentally different? What you think, God? Is ego the same as self-love, or are they fundamentally different? Let us know what y'all think in the comment section too.
Part. Um, well, firstly, based off my meaning, I think still holds based off the definition. It's still applicable, right? It's still improvable, right? But it still works with the thought process, right? I think that 2%, when you look at that pride, right? Think about the self love, the self determination. You think of even everything about that was all about the self. So to me, the ego is all of is all about self love to the max, right? And it'll I think it'll make a person do the most, trying trying to satisfy their self love, right? It actually make them demonstrate some self hate. You know what I'm saying? In a form of the insecurities, right? Because instead of saying I'm insecure about a thing, person, place, or thing, and doing something about that insecurity, make themselves more secure, they would rather lash out, right? And maintain that posture, and that's I don't like that, right? But that might be their type of personality. They might be the we got the fight or flight, and everybody's not a fighter, everybody's not a flighter, right? But you got those that got to run, and you got those that got to fight. So I think that 2% dictates or contributes to that kind of person you're gonna be. So I do think that ego and self love are kind of tied together a little bit.
Kind of tied together.
That's what I think.
We are exchanging insights, y'all. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. Is ego the same as self love, or are they fundamentally different? Um, I mean, after reading the definition, we did see a lot of things that that really correlated to that, and I mean, they didn't go into specifics, but I guess I guess they are, um, I guess they are. I guess like it's an overbearingness too, though, right? Like it comes into an overbearing dynamic of self love based on
That-
what ego is.
That's why I
Yeah.
said to the max, right? Because it's yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it does seem like that. It's like it's just an overbearing part of it where it's like, um, but you know what? But then I'm like, but do they really love theyself? But it's like, but do they really love themselves? Do you really love yourself? Because you put yourself in a box when you conduct yourself like that. So it's like, does the self love, the overbearing of the self love, does that translate into that form of conceit? Does that translate into that form of the egotism? Where it's just me, 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 me. It's a big I, little you in every situation. Um, because like let's go into this a little example real quick. So like I know somebody who can't work nowhere. Like everywhere they go to get a job, they be there for a while, but then they have this complex of I could be the boss, but they not the boss. You know, they don't have the qualifications to be the boss.
I know one of those.
You know, so they always end up losing the job. you know, and it's like they're there for a while, but as soon as they have conflict with the people who are in charge, then now they feel some type of way because it's like they check them and let them know, like, you may be accurate, you may even have a point, but you're not in charge. I'm the boss. So, that's not what we doing. you
Yeah.
know, we'll take it into consideration, but that's not what we doing. And then they always, so I'm like, in that situation, like, is that too much self-love? Is that where self-love goes wrong? Is that where ego in correlation to that, where it's like, because at that moment they're not really caring about trying to get the dead gecko back to the home base. They more so worried about,
Saving face.
you know, how much they lifted. So yeah. So yeah, that's self love. I think fundamentally they a little bit different. I think application wise.
Yo, God, you asked the question, do they really love themselves, right? And then thinking about the ants. The one thing that the ants don't have that we do have, um, we got active outside forces m- manipulating our psyche, like
Yeah,
actively on purpose to 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 think a certain way, to behave a certain way, and so we're actively having to fight against those things. So it makes it tough dealing with people's own personality, everybody's own individual 2%, and now you're dealing with a 2% that's compromised, and and a person who doesn't have any consideration that they may be compromised, right? And
that they
and
may
and they
be
and
compromised.
and, and they self love take them to to self-hate, to where they get so protective of their selves that they're now self-destructive, because the people, places, and things that they really need in their life, they push away, like that job that they keep getting, and they keep thinking they're the boss of, right? Like, you need that spot, but you push it away because of your fear, right? And that's what we got to deal with. That's why that's the insecurity, right? We got to. That's why I say, man, like, it can turn. Like, do you really love yourself? It's like, man. And I was like, I don't know if the ego necessarily care about you having a happy life per se. I think it's, for the most part, like, I think the definition says, like, the kind of, it's almost like it's right now, because
Yeah,
you got to deal with reality. You got to adapt. You got to perceive and adapt. That's all right now activities.
yeah, definitely, God. I agree with you on that one. Like, it is right now. Our third question of the evening: when someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth, or a way of silencing them? Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. If somebody ever told you check your ego, or you know, or if you ever told somebody check their ego, what you think, God? When someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth or a way of silencing them?
In general, it is a way of silencing them.
Okay.
And I say that now. I say that confidently now, having read the definition for myself, learned it today, right? Um, People don't be knowing what they be really wanting you to do, and they take the easy way out and they say the word ego, right? They don't use the rest of the vocabulary that accompanies it with the thesaurus, and actually try to solve their problems. Like, they so lazy. They call them looking ass motherfuckers, right? A bunch of do nothings and know everythings, right? Like, they don't actually do anything, but they got all this information, but they never apply, right?
That's the worst.
That's the worst,
That's the worst. That's the worst. I don't even like talking to people like that. I hate talking to
So,
people like that.
right. So I think the people that, in general, when they're telling other people you're too egotistical, they don't understand what egotistical, or what it is to be an egoist, or any of that stuff, right? Like, unless you're acting like the way that the politicians act, for example, President Donald Trump, unless you're doing that, I don't think that you qualify to be considered an egoist, right? Everything else about everything, like the pride factor, like, that's I'm gonna maintain a reasonable amount of respect for myself,
That's right.
right? Maintain, right?
That's
Like,
right.
I love looking and breathing, right? Like, like, I love it. Um, I- when I've used it in the past, I really did want the person to grow up, right? Because I've only used it in a mentor capacity,
Okay.
right? Well, somebody's asking me to be a mentor, not just me putting down big brother, little brother type shit, right? Like, and it was like, you getting in your own way right here. Like, I understand how you feel, and your feelings are justified, but your actions, right, are negating your feelings, right? And then they're gonna negate the outcome that you want and are rightfully owed right now. But if you take another step, you won't be owed that outcome,
Hmm.
right? But I'm coming from a place of Um, I'm not trying to put a battery in your back. I'm only looking for the best for you for what it is that you're trying to do, right? Not my plans for you, but what it is that you're trying to do
Right.
that I could assist with. Um, so yeah, I think people for the most part are using it to put down and trying to insult you, right? Because they are looking at you and they think you're awesome. And instead of just saying that, they say some shit like, "Man,
Mm.
you need to check your ego," right?
Yeah.
Or saying what they really feel, or whatever the real,
Whatever their concern is. Yeah.
whatever the real, because whatever the real concern is, other than the word ego,
Right.
right? Because ego is a substitute for something else,
Right.
right? So they should say that's something else, so that everything can be on the table and we can actually resolve our problems. Because at the end of the day, like if you don't resolve the problem, it's gonna be there tomorrow. Like, don't go away.
Yeah, it don't go away.
Don't go away till it's resolved, right? Like
Yeah, don't go away. Like, you know, like we never had the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So like it ain't about to come back. It ain't about to be no comeback. And you know what I'm saying? And and it's just no conversation. It's just, hey, how you been? Nah, fuck was that? What
oh,
was
what?
all that? What was
What
all
was
that
all
for?
what was all that for? We talking about? I just said hello. Nah, motherfucker.
Yeah, what was all that for?
What we talking about? We don't just we don't just do that and then
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like that's not how things work. I don't know where you at, you know. Maybe you are crazy. So if you are that crazy, then just, stay the fuck away from me then, cuz you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get that crazy with you, cuz if I get that crazy, my outcomes be different, you
Different.
know. So, I'm not playing with nobody. I'm not playing with people like that. So, um when someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth or a way of silencing them? You know, man, and socially, like you were saying, God, usually it is typically somebody trying to silence them, somebody trying to think it. The way you said it, a key thing that you said was that there is something else that they want to discuss, that they're using ego in place of. And I mean, simply, if that were to just be communicated, just being truthful, just being honest, having some integrity, not being scared. What's that word that we like to use? Effective communication, desiring to have effective communication. Then it's simple. You put it on the table, you talk about it, and you know everybody listens when the other person talks. you know, and and then there's a genuine desire for resolve going forward. If if it comes to a point where people are just like, you know what, I don't care what you say, I got my mind made up already, then it really ain't no need to have no conversation, you know, because people do that. People will say, I don't care what you're going to say. So I don't even know if that's ego. Is that
I
ego?
think that's stubbornness,
You know,
defiance.
it's like, it don't matter what you say. It's like, it don't matter what you say. Okay. I was willing to listen to you, but you aren't willing to listen to me. Okay. Then we can't resolve anything, you know? So that is, uh, to me, I think that that's ego. I think that that is and that is an attempt to, um, I think that's when people use their ego to an attempt to silence another person. when it's kind of like trying to use ego as a reverse type, like I'm gonna out ego you. like like it's like it's like stop it. You know what I'm saying? it's like it's like come on, are you serious? He wanna out ego someone, like when a person not even when
That's
a
so
person
crazy.
it when a person is not even uh when the problem is not even an ego based problem. The problem is when you get called out for something and then you don't, and then you say, um, you know, it's a difference. I seen you make this post, right? Where talking about how like nowadays the dude was the young brother was he was arrested
Hmm.
and he was on the phone and he was like, "We coming to your house right now." Like, like you ain't tell me, you know, you told me to ride with you. I ain't know we was going to go do this. Like, don't be surprised. Like, I'm pulling up. We pulling up now. Like, we got caught. We got caught,
We
right?
got caught. Like what? Like who is this?
So it was so funny to me because I was like, that's a damn shame, like that that's something like that would happen. But I can't imagine that him and his buddy, had they got away, that they couldn't have had that same conversation. Okay. That and I'm talking about in private. I'm not talking about they had that conversation on the phone. I ain't talking about they had that conversation and we not condoning people commit crime here.
Facts.
Okay. But what we saying is but what I'm saying in that situation was like I can see how they could, they counted up the bounty. They, what I'm saying? Like they rode off on the horses and, they got away from the,
They
and
got
all that.
away with
Yeah, you know what I'm
it.
saying? So it's like, so I couldn't imagine that they couldn't have a conversation about it,
Yeah.
you know?
He said we got caught.
That's what he said. It's like, no, nigga, you got caught.
What are you talking about?
Like what? Like prank call, wrong
Frank.
number. Like, what are you talking? Like what?
Yo,
Man, I
you
don't know
know,
what you talking about. I've been at the house all day. What did you talking about? So it's like, so I can't imagine, and I think that's where like
that's
people would
crazy.
try to use that ego type situation in a reverse psychology, like, you know, as a way to deter from actually getting to resolve or growth, because that's part of the question, actually getting to growth, you know, because getting past those things, you get to grow. When you start sharing with people, like trying not to use ego as the thing that is for your stance, for what you
Hmm.
standing on, and getting to those things like you said that we need to put on the table and discuss what's the real issues, that leads to growth. That always leads to growth because it strengthens the relationships. I mean, everybody do that. Me and my wife had something, we put the shit on the table and we talk about it, and it leads to growth. It leads to us being better. It leads to me not knowing if I fucked up and I don't need to be doing that again. You know what I'm saying?
Vice
And then,
versa.
yeah, you know. So like, and then that's growth. We become stronger. We become better in a relationship. You know, if we got something going on here on our show, Cigar Sundays Live, and we want to implement something, that we have to have a conversation, put it on the table, talk about it. Okay, bro, let's do this, let's try this, let's do the boom, 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 right? And we try it and we go, and it leads to growth.
Yep.
You know, so I don't get where what people are missing, except for just everybody trying to be smarter than Everybody trying to be the most stupidest smart person. Like, and then, and then just justifying it in their own, what was it,
Analytical.
analytic, yeah, and they own psychoanalytic theory. Like that's that's what I'm talking about, God. That's where it's at. It's in some old psychoanalytic theory bullshit. Like, fuck out of here, man. You know, like if you keep it 1,000 with me, man, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. If you ain't gonna keep it 1,000 with me, I'm not even gonna waste your time. You know what I'm saying? So
which is all that psycho stuff is trying to get you to get to, is to get you to being authentic. It's trying to is it give you a bunch of words to help you express what you trying to say, so you don't just say ego.
right.
Right? Use your words, express yourself.
Express yourself. Don't do it. So y'all, we want y'all to express yourself tonight in the comment section. Our first question so far was, what do you think of when you hear the word ego? Let us know what you think of when you hear the word ego. 2, is ego the same as self-love, or are they fundamentally different? Let us know in the comment section below, or in the chat if you live with us right now. When someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth or a way of silencing them? Let us know if somebody done told you to check your ego. And if you feel like they was trying to help you grow, if it came with some more stuff with it, or that was the way of them saying, check your ego. You need to do this my way or the highway type shit, because that happens as well. We would like to know. Let us know in the chat. And we respond to all the comments, y'all. Make sure to smash that like button. We really appreciate it. Helps us get content like this to beautiful people like you that want to smoke on words with two big nerds. All right. So tonight, y'all, we've been smoking on the word ego. And we getting ready to go ahead and jump into our flavor bombs after a quick word from all the people that we funk with right here at the DBCHEFTV network.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Some say that art imitates life, but we say that life is art. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop and get 15% off of your next masterpiece of fashion. How do you get there? Simply tap the link in the description.
Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DB Chef TV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Fans in the Stands is gaining momentum thanks to our viewers. Our crew bring the facts with humor, keeping our viewers entertained and laughing. Join us each and every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Fans in the Stands on YouTube.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.
The Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DB Chef TV.
All right, y'all. So we got former NFL quarterback arrested. Believe his name is Mark Sanchez. We got Sean Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs sentenced to 50 months. And gold and silver You better get you some if you know, like I know, if you want your wealth to grow. All right. So let's go ahead and get into these clips.
We are following developing news tonight. Indianapolis police have arrested former NFL quarterback and Fox television analyst Mark Sanchez after sources tell us he attacked a 69-year-old man in downtown Indianapolis overnight. Well, that victim fought back and stabbed Sanchez in the chest. This all happened at a bar just across the street from the Indiana State House. CBS 4's Gabriela Mirando is near that bar where it happened and breaks down what we know tonight.
Sanchez was in town to broadcast the Colts versus Raiders game tomorrow with Fox Sports. Police say they were called to this pub along Washington Street a little after midnight and found Sanchez stabbed in the chest and another man badly cut. A trail of blood in front of Pronta Pizza shows how the altercation ended in this alley.
A customer actually brought it to my attention.
Our sources tell us the 69-year-old man who stabbed Sanchez told police he was making a food delivery when Sanchez told him he couldn't park in the alley. That delivery driver claims Sanchez then started following him and making threats before attacking him. He says he first used pepper spray against Sanchez, and when that wasn't effective, used a knife to defend himself.
I was stunned. I really couldn't believe, especially here, why would you get in trouble like that here?
Sources say the driver had significant injuries to his face. Sanchez was taken to a local hospital in critical condition and was rushed into surgery. Police say he is now stable.
It's just unfortunate that these type of things are happening in Indianapolis, and specifically such a beautiful downtown area. We have conventions, we have people that visit from outside of the state. And that, what an impression that's going to leave on folks, that visit Indianapolis.
Sanchez was arrested for 3 misdemeanors: battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. Sources say the arrest was based on account of the driver and surveillance video that shows Sanchez acting erratic before the assault.
I hope no one's hurt long term. I feel sorry for Mark Sanchez. I mean, this is a career ender. Hopefully, too, it's a hard lesson to learn from. Hopefully he will learn something from this. We got to conduct ourselves right all the time. You can't take a day off. You have to be a good person all the time.
IMPD says Sanchez is still recovering and is yet to be booked into jail. There are several security cameras in this alley. I've reached out to the landlord of this building behind me, but have yet to hear back about any surveillance video. We're staying on top of this and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Reporting downtown, Gabriela Mirando, CBS 4 News.
A lot to unpack there, Gabriella. Thank you. Well, in a statement this evening, Mayor Joe Hogshead said the city takes pride in being a destination, but went on to say, quote, "It's important that everyone who visits or enjoys our community does so respectfully and peacefully." There's a lot of details in this story, a lot of exclusive reporting that we have done here at CBS 4. We'll continue to follow this. You can find our full story, what we know right now, at CBS4Indy.com.
What you think, God?
I think that's crazy. I think the world is upside down, man. 69 years old, stabbing cats, like.
Man, that's a football player, guy. He was drunk, man. He left Mark Sanchez ass leaking.
Leaking.
We're gonna pray for Mark Sanchez, but we're gonna pray that he get his drinking and his attitude under control. Man, he a big dude. That's an old man. You ain't gonna be running up on me neither. I'm a disabled veteran.
That shit crazy, bro. The world is just fucking
self-defense.
crazy, man. Oh no, I don't know. That shit is crazy, bro.
69. Why are you?
Why you beefing with an old man? That's what I'm saying.
Up on an elder anyway. You telling me he don't look 70 years old? That man looked 70 years old. He could not have looked threatening to Mark Sanchez. He could not have looked threatening. That's why he got poked.
And old people only look old.
He couldn't beat him up, but he could poke his ass. He let himself get close enough to him to get poked.
You big dummy.
He let himself get close enough to him to get poked.
And he tried to kill him. Yeah.
I don't know if he tried to kill him, but I know he wasn't.
He said stabbed him in his chest. That's
man. Look, he was trying to make sure that he wasn't the one going to the hospital because A punch to the head at 70 could kill you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, 70 years old. How many times you think that old man getting hit in the head? When he how long he gonna be out of work? How long he gonna not be able to feed his family and do what he trying to do?
Yeah.
From a fist. Because he got that football strength. He probably got some CTE that he dealing with or something. And he on that oil. He on that oil.
See, so if he
got
the
water.
See, so if he got the CTE, now my question is he a victim or should he be held responsible for his behaviors?
If he flew his ass into town, right?
Mm.
And Ubered to dinner, all right, or rode with a friend or something like that, or had a car service, right? Then guess what? He would have had a car service. He could have went to dinner or something.
Yeah.
Had, not got sloshed. Okay. Went right back. His car would have been parked somewhere. He wouldn't even have been car would have been parked somewhere. He wouldn't even have, all he had to do was pull up and hit his driver on the phone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's it. Like
You're not wrong.
You don't even gotta approach no old man. He trying to deliver some shit. He working. Nah, I don't have no. Other than I'm glad Mark Sanchez didn't die. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people make mistakes and they don't deserve to die from their mistakes. But his ass got what the fuck he deserved, fucking with that old man being drunk.
Yeah, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from him, man. Like, cause, yeah.
What the guy say in the thing? You gotta be a good person all the time, man.
Yeah.
I always say I'm one bad choice or decision away from prison or a coffin. So I have to be mindful of what I do every single day. Now, we know there's two sets of laws. You got the wealthy, rich, oligarch, whatever people, politicians, they got their system, and then there's regular people. Well, I'm a regular person. I can't afford to do that shit. And clearly Mark Sanchez is a regular person too. His money, his paper ain't up there. His paper ain't on Trump. On presidential pardon. Okay? So at least he's not conducting himself like it. It's a difference between an assassination attempt and you getting drunk because of whatever the case, whatever you dealing with, and you running up on somebody and they get close enough to stab
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure no story said that old man hopped out the truck and got rowdy with him.
The sentencing of Sean Diddy Combs, a judge handing down a 4-year sentence for the rap mogul convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky was there and has more on the emotional moments in the courtroom. Aaron, when Combs pleaded for mercy from the judge.
He did, Janae, and he really wanted to be tasting freedom right now, but the judge refused to release him. Now his lawyers tell us the judge got it wrong. They're preparing to appeal.
This morning, Sean Combs is behind bars, sentenced to 4 years in prison for transporting women and male escorts across state lines for prostitution.
He can't be stopped now, because it's bad boy for life.
Combs begged for mercy, telling the judge, "I know that I've learned my lesson." But the judge rejected his plea, saying the sentence needed to send a message to abusers and victims alike that exploitation and violence against women is met with real accountability.
It was clear from the judge's remarks that the sentence was driven driven by the conduct the jury rejected.
Combs was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, but federal prosecutors argued he deserved 11 years in prison because he inflicted life-altering violence on women. And they said that physical abuse is on video, pointing to this 2016 hotel surveillance footage depicting Combs attacking Cassie Ventura. How could the judge be blind to that and not punish him for the sum total of his conduct?
Well, the judge was allowed to take that into consideration, but what was clear from the judge's remarks was that he was going way beyond that.
Combs said, "I have been humbled and broken to my core," before apologizing to his children and tearfully telling his mother, "You raised me better." Is Sean Combs a changed man? You've been with him so long through this entire year-long prosecution.
I can say from the bottom of my heart, more than I think anybody else truly on this team can say, that he is a changed man.
How old are you?
The defense played an 11-minute documentary-style video showing Combs as a doting father and a philanthropist. The judge acknowledged his impressive career and commendable charity work, but imposed the 4-year sentence, saying a history of good works can't wash away the record in this case, which showed that you abused the power and control that you had over the lives of women you professed to love dearly.
Defense attorneys told us they would appeal Combs' conviction, try to get his sentence reduced. And we heard from one of the jurors who told us Combs got off easy. This juror, who acquitted him of more serious charges, said 10 years would have been more appropriate, guys.
Dramatic and difficult trial and sentencing. Aaron, thank you. We appreciate it.
What you think, God?
Yeah, I think they bugging God. I think that if he was found not guilty on everything that everybody is butthurt about, rightfully so, right? I don't see how those things have anything to do with his sentencing on a lesser charge or a whole nother separate charge. If that whole nother separate charge is non-violent, non-predatory in the grand scheme of how we look at predators in real life, not how it's defined by law, right? I don't understand the vitriol and the outrage and where the 10 years come from, right? Especially since the actual prostitutes were allowed to continue prostituting, right?
What you mean? What you mean that the prostitutes was allowed to continue prostituting?
Like they got immunity for all their testimony and all that stuff.
Oh, you talking about everybody? Yeah. Oh, I mean, this was a clear railroad. I mean,
and to me, a person like me, a clear railroad makes me throw everything else away, right?
Well, I don't know, God. I don't know why I throw the baby away with the bathwater, but
like he got 50 months, right? Like, and I'm like, all right, cool. He got 50 months for prostitution, but
I think he
have
got
a
50 months for whooping Cassie ass.
yeah, and that's what
I
I'm
think he got.
and that's the part I don't like, right? Because I don't think that got nothing to do with nothing else. I think those are two separate charges, two separate issues, and as a judge, they're supposed to be able to discern the one from the other. But to appease public opinion, that like they did what they did, and it's whatever. I just like people talk about he deserved the whole 10 years. I'm like, for kicking Cassie ass, yes. He deserves.
I don't
No,
even think he deserved 10 years for whooping Cassie ass.
I'm gonna go there because that's what people are saying, right? Like
Yeah.
they're saying that he's a monster and the worst person for that, and I'm saying yes, but that was not what he was charged with. That was not what he was convicted for. So let's just deal with the actual factuals and how we feel about those charges specifically. And for me,
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do that though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's corny, right? Because like for me, prostitution, we dealing with consenting adults. It's like it sound like a date.
Well, nah, they got the Mann Act. So
Yeah, exactly.
the Mann Act is out now, and for everybody thinking about flying out somebody,
Don't do that.
it's called sex trafficking now,
Don't do that. Like,
So
don't fly that person out and have sex with them.
yeah, so they got that, and I did a whole episode. Check out Brunch with the Fellas, episode 14, y'all, right now at Brunch Fellas on the DB Chef TV network on YouTube. The Diddy verdict, but
Yeah.
this whole thing, he got 4 years, and I believe that if that video would have never surfaced about showing him whooping her ass like that, I think he would have got time served.
Correct.
I think all of them charges, he still would have got all of them charges because she filed the lawsuit.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would have been locked up if it wasn't for that video.
Nah.
I think he'd have still got all those charges.
They was gonna lock him up. They was gonna lock him up.
No, but he wouldn't have still been locked up.
Yeah,
I
he
think
would have still been locked up.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because they wanted because whoever is, like, I always think it sounds so conspiracy theory-ish, but like, but like whoever had it out for him or wanted him to, to be at a low point. See, like,
that's true.
They won because one thing about this, people can say whatever they think he got, really sentenced for, whatever. But one thing about it is he is a registered sex offender now for the rest of his life.
Correct.
So it's a difference when, you go through something, you beat the case or whatever it is. But like now that, I mean, even if he would have got convicted for a RICO, he wouldn't have been a sex offender.
Correct.
But the RICO came with life. So it's like, okay, so which one do you want to plead to, or which one do you want to try to fight, or which one is the lesser charge that I know they really can't get me on, but either way, if they don't hit me with life, they're gonna make me a sex offender. So I just have to deal with one. I have to figure out, and they put all my business out there in the street, what he like to do behind closed doors, right? But they did that because he whooped Cassie ass. That was the only get back they had. They ain't had no other get back on them.
I'm so corny.
So they put all this business out in the street, but he allowed it to happen to himself, though.
Yeah, I'm not defending him. Like, I don't give a, I don't care one way or the other.
For sure.
What I don't like, I don't like all the extra stuff, right? Like,
he gonna get it. It's Diddy. It's Hollywood. Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's just
take that.
And it's cool if we can leave it on a Diddy, but the reality is we are dead serious when we saying you cannot fly nobody out no more.
No, that's the law. Now whether people follow it, that's gonna be their own bit. People been breaking the law since laws was made.
Like if you ain't know that was the law before, like that's the law.
Don't let your little head
that they are enforcing. Like it's always been on there since Jack Johnson, but they're enforcing it clearly today.
Yeah, don't let your little head make you a dummy. And if you ain't got enough money, don't let your little head make you a bum. Okay, because that was a hefty price to pay for a piece of a woman. Okay, I'm gonna keep it classy.
Yeah.
All right, that was a lot. 30 million for the settlement thing, and then she still testified, still wrote letters, still blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Keeping them locked up.
Come on, family. 30 mil for that? Like, damn, I should have kept my 30 mil to keep it real.
Man, to keep it real, I can't even say it on here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he should have. Keeping it all the way 1,000 though, he should have been paid her. You know,
Yeah.
remember, God, we said that. We
Yeah.
said it when we was talking about Shannon Sharp. I was like, I bet he settled.
Yeah.
And he settled. And you know why? Because Shannon rather settle than be a registered sex offender. See, like, people don't even be peeping all the shit going on. They just see the service. They be looking at what he lost. You know, broke people pocket watching. Well, he lost
Yeah.
this sponsorship. He lost that sponsorship. The brother been had money. He's still winning. And in order for
Correct.
you to be able to pay somebody that much money, you have to have it
Correct. In the first place.
in the first place. You know, but I knew he was gonna settle because it's either pay the money or possibly go to court and and then have to pay all these other legal fees, then have to pay the money anyway, and then become a registered sex offender, i.e. Diddy.
Yep.
You know, and it's always up for debate what they really sentenced them for and blah blah blah. But you know the charge that's on the paper.
I don't know, God. I
and they
kind
ain't
of
hit
feel.
him with the max. They
I
ain't hit
kind
him
of.
with the max.
I kind of feel like the judge was saying, like, because of the video and shit. Like, I don't think he said that shit for real, but I kind of feel like he was. I kind of feel like he was saying that.
I mean, the judge had it to say it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, the judge had that evidence to factor it in. To say, I know we didn't try you on this, and this ain't what we trying you on, but morally, you fucked up. You need
fucked
to go.
up.
Yeah, morally, you fucked up, bro. You need to go sit down and think about this shit. You need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Because he ain't broke.
Nope.
He lost the De Leon thing, but they paid him to walk away. That was a settlement.
Yep.
And even the money he gave Cassie, and I'm sure what he spent on lawyer fees,
Yep.
he ain't spent none of that. De Leon, that was a little bit of portion of that. Help him go through this shit. He might spend a little bit more in jail, but other than that, he gonna come home to a bankroll.
Yep. Which is what they mad about for real. He ain't lose like they thought he was gonna lose.
Nah, he ain't lose that whole lot. He lost his moral standing.
Correct.
But I don't think a lot of people even.
I don't like he did it. What kind of morals did we think he had?
I don't think nobody was looking at Diddy as some type of superhero or some type of fucking, you know, nobody looked at him like Pac, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, like maybe musically, but not like as some type of, we didn't see them things. I saw his his highlight film, you know, that he was able to present to the judge in his defense for consideration for a lenient sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And God, if I had known Diddy did more, like if we knew Diddy did that stuff versus the, you know, the ego shit,
Mm-hmm.
people would be on Diddy's side. For real. If you watch that video that he sent with him and his family and showing his philanthropy and the words, and I quoted some of the stuff because it was good. It was damn good. It was Oscar winning. Okay. You know, it makes me wonder why people like Young Thug and some of these other little young rappers, you know, that go through their things, don't present something like that, you know, to these judges to be, you know, in consideration for leniency during their sentencing. You know, it was a play. It was like, damn, that's a playbook. You know, never know. You might want to, some of these entertainers, y'all might want to go ahead and start putting together a little family reel just in case some old shit pop up.
Crazy.
Now, but we're going to go ahead and get into this last flavor bomb real quick so we can get back to these questions.
In the 1970s, a couple of Texan oil billionaire brothers, Nelson Bunker Hunt and William Herber Hunt, branched out of oil and into silver. They tried to corner the global silver market and briefly succeeded, driving the price from under $2 an ounce to a peak of nearly $50 on January the 18th, 1980.
In my business, I suspect I'm on the overly aggressive side.
The Hunt brothers owned more than 100 million ounces of silver, and for a glorious moment, they were richer than their father, Harrelson Lafayette Hunt, one of America's first oil billionaires. But there was outrage and consternation. Tiffany's the jeweller took out an ad in the New York Times denouncing the Hunt brothers' behaviour as unconscionable. The authorities clamped down on using borrowed money to trade commodities, which caused what became known as Silver Thursday, March the 27th, 1980, when the price crashed and the Hunt brothers went bankrupt. In 2011, the silver price spiked again. This time it wasn't debt-funded shenanigans, but part of a general boom in commodities after the GFC. Investors were looking for safety, but the US dollar was not seen as safe with the memory of 2008 still fresh. So they turned to precious metals, and silver was also an industrial metal, and demand in China and India was booming. And now it's happening again, with both gold and silver booming, for exactly the same reason. Investors are looking for safety because share markets look expensive, but the US dollar is in decline because of lower interest rates and economic uncertainty as a result of the tariffs.
In other words, they charge us, we charge them.
So once again, they're turning to gold and silver. And silver is used in electronics, so the spending on artificial intelligence is causing industrial demand for it to boom again. Technical analysts, that is the druids who make a living in examining the entrails of graphs, reckon a major breakout is underway because of what they call the cup and handle formation. Well, we'll see about that, but this is already the third silver bubble in a century, and it could well be the biggest yet.
Oh, yeah.
What you think about that guy?
I think it's time to listen to that white man.
I'd agree with you as well, Ali. I'd agree with you as well, Ali.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, shit.
Yeah, man.
I saw the cup.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
I saw the cup. I saw that.
Proof is in the pudding. So, you know, people got options out there, y'all. Y'all got miners, ETFs. You got bullion. You know, don't miss the bus. All right? Because all the other stuff they said, you know, I know people look at the stock market and be like, oh no, the stock market is up. But man, the stock market is up because of M2. Look at what that is. M2. You know, and that's not a BMW series. That is not a BMW series. It's, you know, so there's gonna be some money printing, monetary easing. All right, look for that. If I couldn't make it any clearer, all right, and learn about your finances, learn about what wealth is, because we weren't taught it. Just like the word ego, we weren't taught it. We had a meaning for it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, no different. We gotta educate ourselves. You know, that's it.
You've just been flavor bombed, and now back to our show.
So yeah, y'all, we are smoking on the word ego tonight. Make sure to hit that like button and also share this video and subscribe to the channel so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. We're going to go ahead and get into question number 4 right now. How does ego affect teamwork and collaboration? The God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm.
So looking at the definition and utilizing the thesaurus in both the ways that they give it, in both pride and vanity, I think it affects both positively and negatively. Right. When looking at the ants carry the little gecko back to the spot, the positiveness of like the pride in each ant to do its job is what helped accomplish that mission, right? Not the vanity of an individual ant to be the ant, to carry the whole thing and to get the recognition of carrying the whole thing, but the pride of each ant to do its job, to stay in its lane and trust that the other ant is doing its job and staying in this lane. Because when it got to that part, when it got to the lip and it was hanging off, like not for nothing, for them from their perspective, I'd imagine, like they was falling off the world, right?
One mistake.
Like one mistake, like it was
One
like
mistake would cause them to have to start over. Because if they dropped it, they would have started all over.
correct.
But they were so determined to work together to make sure we
See, and
get it right.
I was just looking at it from how high up they were and how small they are as ants. Like oh no, we're falling. That's what I was imagining. Like one mistake and it was they got to start over in reality. But because they ants, they tough. Like they can take a fall. But like that fragility is see like the fragility is not the problem at all, right? It's the denying of the fragility, right? Because that was a fragile moment. Everybody was super duper strong. Everybody was super duper focused. Everybody was super duper tight. But that was a fragile moment. And everybody accepted the fragility of that moment, and it required them to stay focused and locked in, right? They have to have the pride that I know my job. I know who I am. I know what I do, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm hearing the cadence, left, 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 right, left, left. And as long as I keep hearing the cadence, I'm gonna keep on marching because I know what my role is.
Right.
Right. But the vanity could destroy that, right? And now the cats that's supposed to be holding the tail while everybody dangling, half of them is looking to the side talking about, yo, son, you think I need to like a bunch of looking ass mother, right? Like they just want to they just want to look instead of holding a weight and bringing this thing home, right? So it can work both ways using the words in the thesaurus, right? Both pride and vanity. And I thought that ant thing was great. Like that was
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring that back. I love that. I love that. I
that
love that.
was
When I seen that today, I said, man, like it's no ego. They
yeah,
don't even have room for it.
that was dope, right? Like other than I got to do my part.
Other than just what's my part, and I want to be the
I
best at
at
my
my
part.
part, at my part, because every one of those my parts was important.
It could not. The evolution could not happen without the team.
Without every one of those my parts, the
So
team,
right, without the team. So
the
like
the team is made up of my
everybody
parts.
playing hard. Everybody's playing hard.
Everybody's playing hard, son.
There's no big I, no little you. It's us.
Yeah, so that's
It's
what I got right there. Yeah.
yeah, it's we. So definitely, yeah, I see that. I see the same thing. When how this ego affect teamwork and collaboration. Let us know in the comment section what y'all think. How ego affects teamwork and collaboration. People start to get big eyes and little U's, or big U's and little eyes. And that's where it affects it negatively. But if it's just that pride, then what's another saying? With the lions, they call themselves what, the pride?
Yeah, the Lions got a pride. Yeah, their family is called the Pride.
That family is called the Pride. So
Ain't
when
that
we
interesting?
so when we saw the Pride, we saw how positive pride is.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yep. So I'm gonna leave that at that. Our fifth and final question, last but never least, how can we differentiate between confidence and ego? How can we differentiate between confidence and ego?
Tune in to Cigar Sundays Live every Sunday at 8 o'clock on YouTube and learn the difference between the meaning of a word and the definition of a word, right? Educate yourself to improve your understanding and your communication so that you can be a better teammate, so that you can be a better collaborator. Um, Otherwise, you'll be ignorant and not know when somebody is displaying confidence, right? Assurance, surety. They know what they're doing. They are a master of their craft. They have of years of experience, of proven track record. Um, you can count on that, right? Um, versus somebody who is talking a whole lot, no real proof of real works. They have a lot of talk game. They've been a lot of places, said a lot of things, but ain't did a whole lot of anything. Um, that's what I'm saying, right? Like I thought it was perfect when you brought up Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, as being an
As
egoist,
being
as being egotist, yeah, right.
an egotist, yeah.
Because I think that's how this question applies. People mistake somebody's confidence as them being an egotist, right? And unless somebody is actually demonstrating those behaviors and doing what Donald Trump does, look what I did. I'm this, and like that dude still brings up Joe Biden.
Don't he?
I'm
I
like,
beat him really
what?
bad. So bad. I beat him so bad. So bad. He doesn't even want to show his face in public no more.
I'm like, what? Like who? Like Joe
Crazy.
Biden.
Crazy.
Like so to me, unless somebody is doing that, displaying those tendencies or those attributes, they're not demonstrating an egotist. They could just be demonstrating their confidence, and their confidence um, bruises you, right? And it deflates your ego, and it makes you feel inferior. Uh, and you should probably say that or do some more push-ups, right, and catch up. Um, but I really do think, as far as how can we differentiate between confidence and ego, I'm 100% serious when I say tune in to Cigar Sundays Live every Sunday at 8 o'clock on YouTube Live and smoke on words like Two Big Nerds with myself, the God Ali, and DB Chef TV, right? Because otherwise, like is mental masturbation, right? Like is literally just you playing with yourself because you don't know. You just feel.
You
And
just feel.
what's crazy? In this particular instance, I'm not even anti your feelings. What I
Yeah.
would what I'm desirous of is you select the right words for your feelings so that they can be conveyed and expressed and resolved, or or whatever you need to be done with them, acknowledge whatever, I don't know, right? um but we got to use the right words. So I'm not saying don't have the feelings. I'm saying process the feelings so that we can express them, so that we can resolve ourselves, and because if what I'm saying is true, and the ego is the 2% of us that we did not get from our mothers and fathers, if we do not resolve ourselves, like you will be your mother or your father.
Then you
Like
will be
like
your mother
that's
or your
just
father, right?
like that's just the reality. Like if you don't want to be you, there's only you got three choices. You got you or one of them, right? Like and you're just gonna be a bad clone of one of them because they already exist. They operate in their own ego. They operate in their own selves, and you're settling into that role because you lazy,
Woo.
right? Yo, I like that 2% guy. Like when I first saw
Woo.
that, I was like, man, I'm the guy Ali for real. Right?
Yeah.
Ain't no faking, no flunk. Like it is not like where did all that come from? That is it is godly ordained and designed.
Right. No psychoanalytic theory.
Taking like 5 DNA tests, right? And they all say 49%, 49%. Every time I write that down and do the math,
It's
it
like
leaves
I still got two. I still got two.
it
You know?
still leaves. Where does the two come from? That must be me.
You know. Cause you
Right.
can
So
because you can go and multiply that. So
right. So I'm saying like so how can we differentiate? Like we gotta come here, bro. Like we gotta come here. We gotta yo, they're bringing back Reading Rainbow. Right? They
they
coming
bringing
back.
it back with the
They-
reading
like
rainbow.
that's
Okay.
fire, right? Like they
Yeah.
bring it with a different character, but um like we need to encourage those things, right? Like and hopefully they don't make it corny. Hopefully they keep it focused on reading and don't make it more about the rainbow, right? Because I'm scared of the reading rainbow today's time, right? Like like
I'm not I won't be surprised. I just won't be surprised. And what we asking for is consideration, and we know what consideration looks like today, where everything gets considered but the nation. And so I don't know. So and then the play on words with the rainbow and all that other stuff. So, we like colorful things. We love the Aurora Borealis. You know what I'm saying?
I
We love,
love rainbows.
we
It's
love
like
rainbows. We love the chakras that they represent. We love all that. All colors. We colorful people. We love that. You know, we got them on our walls. Look at all this color we got in here. BK Soul Farm and then the DB Chef TV
come
kitchen.
on, son.
We love it. But but for some reason it's been hijacked. You know what I'm saying? It's been
It
hijacked.
sucks, bro. Like
It's been hijacked. And I want my rainbow back.
yo, son, yo, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you. Yeah, I want my rainbow back too.
I want my rainbow back, man.
I want my
It's been
rainbow back
hijacked.
too. Oh
You know,
man, son.
that's all we gonna say. That's all we gonna say on that. But definitely I agree with you guys on how we can differentiate between confidence and ego. It is just a conversation and putting things on the table, like you were saying. That's all I really got to piggyback on that, like, because that was so true, and and easy to do for people, just put it on the table.
Yeah, just be honest.
Yeah, and then you will know whether it's confidence or whether it's ego. You will know what you're dealing with.
Know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. So we have been exchanging insights tonight, smoking on the word ego, not ego. And our first question tonight was, what do you think of when you hear the word ego? Let us know. Is ego the same as self-love, or are they fundamentally different? When someone says check your ego, is that a call for growth or a way of silencing them? How does ego affect teamwork and collaboration? And last but never least, how can we differentiate between confidence and ego? Let us know what you think in the comment section, and we're going to respond to it. We're going to chop it up with you. We love to hear what you got to think. We love to hear what you have to say. And now, what I have to say to the God Ali Dawoodel at BK Soul Farm is the word ego bad, good, or misunderstood?
Misunderstood. Misunderstood, man. It's misunderstood. It's misunderstood. Like it's, you know, the definition needs to be clearer.
It could be a lot clearer.
Like, I find that the thesaurus, like I don't know, man. Like I was trying to find like even your questions, like yeah, this totally misunderstood, right? Like totally misunderstood. Like 'cause once, like I said, because once you understand the word itself, you you can't use it only unless you're trying to help somebody grow or unless somebody's actually displaying the Donald Trump characteristics.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many people in real life that do that. Like on a day-to-day basis. Like I don't know anybody actually. Like I don't know that I know that I engage with that I frequently engage with. I don't know that. So
You know why, God? Because people may do it to you. You may not do it to them. And you may because I'll tell you, like, I know I don't do that. Right? Like on a regular basis. But when you speak to people and you like to think you have an answer for everything, you know, because you're a problem solving type of person. Okay. So it's not that you have an answer for everything, is that if there's a problem, you're not
think about it.
you're not running from trying to solve it. You know?
I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah. So like if it's an issue, you're not scared of stepping up to the plate and trying, you know. You're not scared to be like, oh damn, I ain't know that. Okay, well, now I know what I didn't know, you know. So you're not scared to learn. You know,
Yeah.
you're not scared of failure. And they don't
Yeah.
get that because they're quitters. They scared of failure.
They do nothings.
You
Know
know.
everythings.
But they may be people that don't even follow through on everything, you know. Like they don't have perseverance to follow through on stuff.
Stick to
itiveness, you know. And I noticed that's that is something that I have that's different from some people that I've come across in my life. I know that's something that I have that they don't have.
Yeah, me too.
You
Stick to
know?
itiveness is a key characteristic that I look for because I have that.
Because you have it.
And to be my friend, I need you to have it as well.
You know what? And sometimes, God, I'll be honest, like I have had friends or even have friends that don't have it, you know, but I never, and I'm wondering now, should I start like, you know, saying, okay, well, you don't have that, so you're not on my level. But then they're going to think that's ego because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to treat you the same because you're not on my level. Like, you don't follow through
Yo,
on
God,
shit. Like, you don't.
we got to do the word peer.
disappear. Okay.
Cause we keep talking about that on my level, and we're not on our level, and I think it's
But I'm like, do you look at it like that? Are you supposed to look at it like that? Because you,
because
because
I say that because I don't know if you're wrong, right? I don't know if you're wrong because if the person if the person would hold you back if you allowed them to, right? If you allowed them to get in your way and distract you,
they hold, yeah, they would. You know,
and so you wouldn't necessarily want to keep that person around you that could potentially um catch if it, on a bad day catch you slipping and take advantage of your slipping.
I mean, they couldn't even take advantage of me slipping, right? But I'm saying like, I'm saying but they like a mindset is like don't have confidence in what you doing, you know, but use your resources to help me.
So I think that's robbery. That's not even lazy. That's just robbery. Like that's just a stick up, right? Like that's modern day stick ups. Like
But it's only a stick up if you do it. If you
yeah,
allow
yeah, yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
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 like
yeah,
you allow
yeah,
yourself
yeah,
to get robbed. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
know, I'm talking about, but it's suck, but it's, you know, like it's corny for people to think like that. That's sucker shit to me for a person to have that mindset,
Definitely.
you know, and to have an ego like that, you know, to have a vanity of
To be
where it's
so
like,
vain.
to be so vain like that to where it's like, you know, well, um, like I want you to teach me what you know, but then I want to compete against you, you know? Like and I want you to stop doing what you doing. I don't want you to come over here and promote nothing. But I want you to come over here and help me build, but I don't want you to help. You know, we have to wait and see when we get to where I want to get at, then we'll see how much I want to give you for your help, how much I want to value you for your help. You know? That's not a partnership. That's not collaboration. That's
At
an
all.
ego. That's an ego thinking that you are in some way, shape above something, you know, superior to something, or that your idea is more, you know, is a better idea than what, you know, the other person got going on or some shit. Like to me, that's ego, you know. To me, based on what we was talking about, that's the vanity in it, you know. Pride is saying, you know what, I'm gonna be supportive of you regardless of if you're more successful than me, because I'm being supportive, you know.
And that's my role. Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. Like I'm not in competition with you. I want to see you be successful. So if I can be instrumental in that, you know, but then people would say that little bit of shit you did, that little bit, you know, like
That little job you got, that
that
little
little
farm
bit,
you
you
got,
know what I'm
oh this,
saying?
that
That
little
little
that.
bit of that little bit of subscribers ain't helping me
That
do what I need to do to my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit corny. So it's like, so why don't you take your ego and put it on the table and tell a person what you really think about them, you know, instead of trying to be underhanded and trying to use them, trying to be slick, thinking that somebody country slow and you city slick or some shit like that, whatever going on, you know, like that's why I agree that ego is very misunderstood, you know, and it's bad too because
I was thinking about that. I was gonna say
it's
that
bad,
guy.
because it has this pride component and people don't really know
hmm
the definition of pride. They don't know how to apply pride correctly,
Yeah.
you know. So all you get is this vanity pushed into this ego thing, and then everybody think they right about some shit because they don't study the words. And we give the, and culturally we just give a meaning to it, and then you just, well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't know what the fuck you mean. You know, I can interpret what you mean, but it would be better if we could have a conversation, you know, and you could explain to me what it is you're trying to say, not leaving some shit out there for me to interpret whatever the fuck it is you mean.
Word. Can I add on real quick, God?
Absolutely, God.
Like, oh fuck, I just lost that shit just now. I was thinking about what you were just saying, and you know what makes it what also makes it bad is the definition, right? Like I said earlier, it's not clear, right? You have the only things that are clear were egoism and self-esteem, as far as what those things clearly were. But like the other two things aren't clear. Like they're words, like and if they form sentences, and the sentence is understandable, I understand it, but it's not for a definition. It to me, I feel like it needs to be concrete, and if the word is variable, then it needs to have more than one definition. It can be used like this, it can be used like that, it's used like this, and all those things are good. But because the definition, I'm gonna use the word poor, it's poorly, it contributes to bad. Yeah, so it's misunderstood and bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't, like, there's no way for it to be good with the definition the way it is right now.
With theory in it. How can it be good with theory in it? Ain't no good. Ain't no way for it. Yeah, ain't no good with theory in it.
Yeah.
Ain't no good with that. That's left to interpretation.
That's left to interpretation, right? To your therapist's interpretation. Yes.
Nope, you're fine.
No, you need Ritalin.
No, you crazy. No, you really crazy. You crazy.
You know
crazy.
Meanwhile, they need therapy.
You know, like, who your therapist? My therapist got a therapist. You know,
are you taking your meds? Like, come on, like, it's bad, bro. So yeah.
Yeah, God, that is wild, but that is ego, ladies and gentlemen. We have been smoking on the word ego tonight. We want to thank y'all once again for tuning in, and make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, we got the links in the description right now at DBCHEFTV.com and at BKSoulFarm.com. Make sure y'all go check it out, y'all. We got merch and good things. We got the holidays coming up. You know, yeah, if y'all want to support the channel, the like button is free. Just smash it, okay? The share button, share the content with somebody like yourself who don't want to walk around here just meaning shit all the time anymore. You know, might want to apply some of these words correctly. What else we got? We want y'all to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. You know, it is October. Halloween coming up, so I know everybody gonna be on some spooky and the kooky. You know.
Hell yeah.
But definitely, we look forward to seeing y'all next week right here on Cigar Sundays Live with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm, and we are the Cigarden Panel. Until next time, peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So BKSoulFarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Some say that art imitates life, but we say that life is art. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop and get 15% off of your next masterpiece of fashion. How do you get there? Simply tap the link in the description.
Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Fans in the Stands is gaining momentum thanks to our viewers. Our crew bring the facts with humor, keeping our viewers entertained and laughing. Join us each and every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Fans in the Stands on YouTube.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.